few years ago, I was guest speaker at a youth camp in northern New South Wales. The campsite was located right alongside a spectacular lake. I was walking by the lake one afternoon when I saw a group of adolescents knee-deep in the water catching pufferfish. And they'd pick the fish up by the tail, toss it in the air, and then one of the kids had a cricket bat and they'd swing it and belt the fish as far as they could. I was a bit shocked by that. I went over to them and I said, don't you think that's a bit cruel? And they looked at me like I was from another planet. But it's only a pufferfish, they said. But can it ever be just a pufferfish? And what about how I treat fish? I love fishing. Is that just a culturally acceptable form of cruelty? Or what about the chicken I'm cooking? I like to think that the chicken led a pretty good life before it made it to my fry pan. You know, I'm a city boy, and so I tend to imagine the life of a chicken like this. I imagine the chickens roaming around the farm, scratching in the dirt, doing that dust bathing thing they do. But I've discovered the reality is very different. Australia produces 460 million meat chickens a year. And to produce at that scale, the chickens are packed inside enormous sheds. And then to keep up with the demand, meat chickens are bred to mature fast. And that means a lot of them will put on weight so quickly, their legs will grow sore. Some legs will fracture, and they'll be unable to reach food and water and slowly die of starvation. And then when they're around 35 days old, they start to be removed. They'll be grabbed by the legs, packed into crates, and shipped off for slaughter. On the way, they're so densely packed that some of them are going to die from heat exhaustion or just from being crushed. And then having arrived at the processing plant, the birds are removed from the crates, shackled upside down and stunned in an electrical bath before having their throats cut. Those chickens suffer. Does that matter? Or is it only a chicken? Or what about the orangutans, whose very existence is threatened so I can have things like margarine to use in my cooking? Most margarine contains palm oil, and the world's biggest exporters of palm oil are Malaysia and Indonesia, where stands of rainforest are cut down to make way for palm oil plantations. Those rainforests also happen to be the only places in the world we find orangutans. So thanks to palm oil, their existence is threatened. Does that matter? Or is it only an orangutan? When you stop and think about it, consumerism brings us into contact with animals all the time. We eat them, we wear them, we hunt them, and we impinge upon their habitats. And along the way, there's an awful lot of suffering involved. Does that matter? Or are